Welcome to the Global Hosting Toolkit, or GHTK for short. In this video tutorial, we will discuss how to handle requests that need to be changed after they have received approval. We will explain when you can expect this and how to proceed. For this tutorial, we assume you have completed tutorials 1 through 8. Reapproval occurs when a hosting has been approved completely but needs changes afterwards. Depending on the urgency of the situation, you may need to fast-track these necessary changes. For emergencies, you can opt to use the fast approval feature, which is available for all 3 of your forms. During fast approval, the request does not need to follow the standard hosting process. You simply open, edit, and approve the information with the fast approval button. This helps to track the activity on the project. This means that you can edit just one form and send it straight back to the Approved tab. Use the fast approval option conservatively, as you will be responsible for all changes, taking the risks and liabilities of the change on yourself. If a hosting submission form has been approved in its entirety, you can find it in the Approved tab. Among the usual actions for viewing the documents, you will have options to edit your documents. You can open any of the 3 documents for editing and resubmission by clicking on the corresponding Edit button. To edit the hosting submission form, click on Edit Hosting. This will take you to the hosting submission form where your previous details will have been stored. You can edit any field or leave the previous information intact as per your needs. You will have an additional field called Reason for Edit. After you have made your changes, provide the reason for editing the information. At this point, you need to choose between reapproval and fast approval. By choosing fast approval, you omit the signatures usually provided by the 3 approving authorities. Your hosting will not need to follow the usual steps of approval, and the request will move back to the Approved tab. The log will show that you have executed a fast approval, and the changes will be available on the hosting submission form. Remember, both fast and reapproval are initiated by the same option. You can choose whether to submit for fast approval or reapproval once you are satisfied with your changes. If you would like to make changes to the itinerary, select the Create or Edit Itinerary option. This option will take you to the Itinerary Planner, where you can make the necessary changes to the itinerary. Your events will be displayed on the calendar, and you can edit them by following the steps from Tutorial 4, How to Build an Itinerary. Once you are satisfied, add a reason why you needed to make the changes. Next, you need to choose between submitting the itinerary for reapproval or fast approval. By selecting fast approval, you fast-track the itinerary. Your itinerary will not need to follow the usual steps of approval, and the request will move back to the Approved tab. The log will show that you have executed a fast approval, and the changes will be available on the itinerary. From the previous tutorials, you may recall that you add guests on the hosting form and their details to the guest list. This means that adding, replacing, or removing guests will be done on the hosting submission form. If you only need to make changes to the guest list, such as revise a passport number or dietary requirements, select the Edit Guest List option. This will take you to your guest list form with the details you added previously saved into the form. To edit a guest, click on his or her name. For every guest you edit, you will need to certify that the uploads are correct. This is discussed in detail in Tutorial 5, Standard SAT Hosted Projects. Each guest may have a unique reason for the changes required, and each form will have its own reason for edit field. Complete this field with an explanation why the changes were needed. When you are happy with the changes, you need to choose between reapproval and fast approval. By selecting fast approval, you fast-track the guest list. You do not need to approve the guest list from the Pending Approval tab during the fast approval process. The request will move back to the Approved tab. The log will also show that you have executed a fast approval, and the changes will be available on the guest list. When you take a look at the revised documents, you will see changes have been highlighted. Both the new information as well as a record of the previous information will be shown on the form. Fast approval can be executed as many times as you need. However, the system will only track the latest revision. The signatures provided by each manager are not provided during FOST approval. Use the FOST approval option conservatively, as you will be responsible for all changes, taking the risks and liabilities of the change on yourself. This concludes Tutorial 9, FOST Approved Hosting Requests. The series includes 9 tutorials, which are available on the how-to videos and booklet section of your account. This section also offers help and frequently asked questions.